I'm Lori and I love books. Today's tea I've showed before, but I really love it. It's the Hot Cinnamon Sunset by Harney and Sons Fine Teas, and I found this at Target for around $5. And it has a gorgeous orangey brown color, and it smells just like cinnamon, and it tastes just like a cinnamon candy. So it is really yummy. So today I'm going to show you the books I read for April. I have a thematic TBR, and then I have other books that I'll read during the month. And so I read two little poem books that were not part of my thematic TBR. And the first one was Tap Dancing on the Roof. Sijo Poems by Linda Sue Park. These were kind of odd. If you wanted something different, I recommended. It wasn't probably my favorite poetry book, but maybe if I had an audio version of hearing them in the, I think they're, is it Korean? Hold on, let me look. Yeah, Korean. So, if I heard them being spoken out loud in Korean, I might have enjoyed them more and just saw the art form as opposed to understanding, the translation. So I'm not sure if it translated well. But it was interesting to try something different. And then the other poetry book I read was Behold the Bold Umbrelliphant and Other Poems by Jack Perletsky. And basically these poems took an animal and combined it with an inanimate object and then came up with a poem. And my favorite one was and it has gorgeous end papers. And I bought this used, so I don't know who that inscription was for. And then the one I liked the most was the Bizarre Alarmadillos. So I do recommend that one. And then last year I tried for the first time an audiobook. And so I tried another one this month, or in April. And it was The Women of Easter by Liz Curtis Hicks. And of course it messes up. And let's see if I can get it closer. And I did not like this. I thought the organization of the writing was poor. I thought when it was just reading scripture and it was just talking about the Bible, that part was good, but everything else really was not very good. The examples she gave were so unique to her that I, as a reader, couldn't relate. And I do believe that spiritual books like this are supposed to be educational, and if I can't relate to what you're saying, then how am I learning anything? And then at one point she's like, I found Christ throughout the Bible, but didn't give any examples. And it's like, well, how does that help? And she's supposed to be really successful in her career, and yet she didn't give an example of that. And then she also didn't show how it benefited her life finding Christ. So it was just like, I did not understand why she has success based on this book. The narrator, which I did not hold against the book, so I gave this book 2 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, but the narrator, when it was at the normal 1.0, it sounded like it had been slowed down. It did not sound like somebody naturally talking. And then when I sped it up to 1.25, it sounded like it was going too fast, which I kept it at that length because I'd rather it be too fast than unnecessarily slow. And it's like, well, why didn't you just have her talk in a normal way? So that was another problem I had. And then like it also sounded like she's bragging at times, and then it also sounded like this was just an advertisement for her Bible study group. And it's like, well, like you're talking about Christ and his resurrection at Easter time. It's not exactly something I think you should be using to sell yourself. You know, and I mean, if she had just done it like once at the beginning and once at the end, that would have been fine. But it was a lot at the end. Like it kind of kept mentioning it over and over again. And the end of the book was just like Bible study questions that you could answer. So I did not like this. I do think I'll try another audiobook, but I definitely am not going to try anything more by Liz Curtis Higgs. So that was disappointing. And it was about 5.5 hours long of listening. So my thematic TBR for April was The 12 Dancing Princesses. I have had this book for a long time. It's a hardcover with a paper jacket. And I just always loved it and thought it was beautiful. And I was like, I know there's other books that are based on The 12 Dancing Princesses, which was written by the Grimm brothers. And but it was taken from oral storytelling. So this one, the 12 Dancing Princesses are under a curse, and they don't mean to be mean, but they are mean because of the curse. So I do recommend this one. I've read on my Hoopla. Let's see. I also found a little golden book of the 12 Dancing Princesses. This one was used. And the illustrations are okay. Like, if you can find it, you might like it. It was very basic. Like, it didn't really have much of a conflict. And it didn't really go into the curse. But it is a decent book. It's not horrible. Okay. And then on my Hoopla, I read The World of Dance, 12 Dancing Princesses. It was a very short little book, 22 pages long. And at the end, it had like descriptions of the dance moves. So that was interesting. And then the last picture book is Classic Stories, The 12 Dancing Princesses. And I got this off of, what was it? The Book Depository. And again, like it was good, but it didn't really go into the details of the curse as much. It was mostly just an action film. And the illustrations are fairly pretty, so like if you want to read a bunch of different versions of these books, I do recommend all of them. But the first one I had, is definitely my favorite of the picture books. Let's get these over. And then I read 2 chapter books based on the 12 Dancing Princesses. The first one is The Night Dance by Suzanne Wayne. And basically this combines the story of the 12 Dancing Princesses and King Arthur. So the 12 Dancing Princesses are the daughter of the Lady in the Lake. And so she's King Arthur's aunt. King Arthur, his death happens, and the last knight of the Round Table is trying to return Excalibur to the Lady of the Lake, but the lake has disappeared. So he has to break the curse of the 12 Dancing Princesses in order to return the sword of Excalibur, and he winds up falling in love with her youngest daughter. So I really enjoyed this. It was a very interesting take on a classic by combining it with another classic. So I do recommend this one. It also was a decent size. The ending was kind of felt a little rushed. I would have liked another couple chapters, but I think that is a good thing for a book to make me want to read more. And the last one I read was Entwined by Heather Dixon. I loved this book. This book was definitely my favorite of the month. It goes into a detail about a lot of dancing, different types of dancing. The queen mother of the it starts with 12 daughters, but then there's a 13th baby, but the oldest 12 are the dancing ones. The youngest baby is just recently born. And basically it starts with a Yule Ball, so this would have been perfect to read in December. It also has so much magic that it'd be wonderful to read in October for Halloween or other magical times of the year. And like the daughters were named alphabetically based on plants. So Azalea is the oldest daughter, and then for C it was Clover, and and B was Bramble. So I really liked the names. I really liked the characters. I liked the imagery. Some of it was a little bit obvious. Like, how in Zootopia, like the first time you're watching Zootopia, you know exactly who the bad guy is. It kind of had that in here as well, but it didn't take away the charm and the beauty of it. So I do recommend this book, especially if you love dancing, because it is definitely focused on the dancing. The curse happens, but it's a lot focused on the dancing. It also deals with grief and how people are not as giving to others when they are suffering grief. So it does deal with that as well. So I do recommend that. And those were the books I read for April. And my kitty decided to start eating down below the desk. Let me know what you read in April. What did you find that you absolutely loved? I'd love to get some recommendations of other books. And then my plan still is to upload this on Saturdays. So Saturdays is YouTube. And then Sundays are Instagram. And then Mondays will be Goodreads. And this is the Goodreads book of the month for my Children's Classics Club. And it's from the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler. And I've never read it before, so I'm looking forward to reading that. So let me know anything like you want me to try for my channel. I would love suggestions as well. And I hope you have a lovely time reading. Bye!